Am I a carpenter? Because I nailed it. All right, let's hop into it. It's the rematch, and we have a lot of things to talk about for rematches in particular. But this one starts off at the bottom right with... Oh, I thought I set the skins. I must have messed that up. It's the blue Protoss Harstem. And at the top left, it is going to be the red Terran Kelazhur. Very frequently, we see results go different directions. And this happened in the previous group with Bly and TLO. Every time there's a rematch, I swear to God, it's like a 90% chance the results flip. So, well, Harstem won the first series today. He's working against the group curse, and maybe chances are good for Kelazhur. But what we should do, guys, we haven't consulted the 8-ball in a long time. Its power is too great for us mortals, but I think we need to consult the 8-ball. 8-ball, will the results be flipped from the first time they fought? The ball says no. Oh, shit. The ball is going against the curse. Now, the 8-ball is all-powerful and has only ever been wrong one time since we've ever consulted it casting games. Maybe this will be the second time. Or maybe it will continue to praise the 8-ball because it is, in fact, all-knowing. Either way, we'll see how this ends up going. Now, the first time around, I feel like this was a bit of a weak showing out of Kelazhur, actually. We talked a little bit timing being unfortunate. He had some bad luck. I don't think he's looking like he's in bad shape necessarily, but bad things happened, and he lost the series because of it. Maybe this time around, he's a little bit more warmed up. He's played a couple of games now. Maybe Harstem's streaming. Maybe he's distracted. I don't know. There's a lot of what-ifs to this, but my hopes are we just get a better showing out of Kelazhur, even if he still loses. I'm not rooting for either, by the way. I love watching Kelazhur and Harstem. I think they would be both excellent additions to the round of 8. I think they would round out our tournament very nicely. But just to be clear, like I want to just see Kelazhur put up a better showing, because I think some of the stuff that happened in the first series, easy mistakes to correct, right? Nothing like, oh my God, Kelazhur clearly doesn't understand the matchup. Why is he building a battlecruiser? Although you could build a battlecruiser, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, I want to see a better showing out of Kelazhur this time around. And right off the bat with this Reaper, that's scouting that he didn't have before. So I like this. He gets kind of screwed over by the pylon, hopping up and down in that, I think it was the first game of the day. But this Reaper blitzes in, not proxied, picks off 3 probes, and gets out. That's really nice. He also sees this is blocked off, so there's not going to be a chance to really do anything about the, round 2 of getting up here. I mean, he knows this too. What's he doing? Wait, does that work? I was going to say, if you could launch yourself up over another level like that, that'd be sick. But to be clear, what he was trying to do is sometimes the grenade will propel you and push you through these tiny little slits, so you can sometimes kind of cheat your way through the wall. Didn't work there, though. We're also seeing significantly less banter between these two this time, and I think a lot of this is because there's a lot more on the line. This is the decider match. It's the last one of the group. It is your tournament continuing or coming to an end, depending on how the results go here. Kills are asking for a small pause. Okay, no problem. While this goes on, I just want to note there's a dark shrine coming out of Harstem. Kelazhur, I know how distracting food can be, man. Food is delicious, but don't let it distract you from the dark shrine that you don't know is coming because you haven't scouted it yet. I don't know why I'm using that voice, by the way. But while this goes on, I'm actually taking a moment to message somebody something. Give me 1 sec here. Okay, perfect timing. Anyways, we'll give Kelazhur a second to come back, but I mean, this doesn't really change much of anything. There's just a blip. Could actually probably maybe even bring up Harstem's stream and see what he's saying while this goes on, but yeah, I will point out and advertise for my good friend Wardy, who is streaming at the moment. I will be throwing Wardy a host after this is done. He's casting the Wardy Lenovo Invitational right now, and oh, they're back. And while I don't want you guys to leave me before I'm done, I'm just letting you know that my good pal is also casting some Starcraft, and you can go from watching this to watching that pretty seamlessly once we're done. I wonder what he got for food, though. Is that weird that I'm more interested in what Kelazhur got to eat than what he plans to do in this game? Now, Harstem's setting up a cheeky pylon up here. We're going to see some DTs, I'm sure, warp in and walk in and be all kinds of a problem. There's no reason for Kelazhur to suspect this. And it's game 1. I mean, if this was like game 2, there could be some precedent set towards aggression and what have you, but that's just really not the case. Also, yo, it's Prince Charles in the chat. Everyone, tip your hats. Pip, pip. Hello, Prince Charles. He's the guy we talked about earlier who's kind of spearheading this whole DFY esports project and making this tournament happen. So if you guys like these games, lavish him with praise. And hope you have a good day, Charles. Hey, Papa Mitch, thank you for the 67 months. Now here's those first 2 Dark Templar I talked about. A little bit hard to see. We're going to watch Kelazhur's vision for a moment. He picks up on the medevacs. Doesn't even realize. He sees the blur. Oh, he's got eagle eyes. He sees the blur. Harstem realizing this too because it's a pretty big deal to stop those medevacs and bring them home. Only 1 DT goes down. I mean, to be clear, a trade for a DT for a scan is actually not a bad trade at all. On top, that goes like Marine, goes back for round 2. Missile turret's finishing up. Harstem going to have to walk away. But the thing is, even though he's got the defense set up for this, the Dark Templar are always going to be a threat now for the rest of the game. And that's something where Kelazhur is going to have to be very conscious. He pretty much can't drop mules anymore. He's going to have to save all this energy for scans, which is not something he'd want to have to do because it eats into your economy. So Harstem taking a 3rd base. I like the way this gets set for him in that regard. But for Dear Charles and anyone who has just joined us, we went over this earlier. Quick recap. This is a rematch of the first match played out today, or second match played out today. And this is the decider match of the group. So we are watching these two fight each other again. No DTs on the home front for the defense. These stalkers aren't going to hold up to the Stim Marines. The probes get pulled, and it looks silly, but it's absolutely necessary. Cutting back here with the stalkers. Harstem needs more than what he's got, and this is actually looking pretty bad. Actually, not even pretty bad. This is looking like, if he's not careful, this is game. Because there's nothing really to deflect this. I mean, a DT needs to be brought in. Nope, nothing. G. Kelazhur takes game 1, and oh my god, guys. Do you realize what this means? The 8-ball. The 8-ball might be right. The 8-ball might be right again. Oh my god. Kelazhur is misspelled? Well, first off, if anything, Kelazhur would be Mr. Spelled, all right? I'm sick of women getting all the credit, but I'm pretty sure I spelled Kelazhur's name right. Am I crazy? Kelazhur. You guys are dumb. All right, we're hopping into game number 2. It's the final series of the day, and while he's down 1 game at the moment, he did win the first time these two fought. It's the Red Terran, Harstem. And at the top left, we have the blue... Wait, did I see Terran? Protoss. Oh my... I'm done! I'll see you later! Bye! Alright, it's the red Protoss, Harstem. At the top left, we have the blue Terran, Kelazhur. Canadian or American, it doesn't matter. Okay, look, I want to be clear. When I tell you guys, okay, I do this joke on stream sometimes. When I tell people to donate to be on band or to sub to be on band, all this stuff, it's not because I actually want the $5 or the sub or whatever. It's just, I need you to prove to me that you're willing to put some money on the line to not be a little shit, right? Like, if you've been banned on my channel, usually it's because you've said or done something dumb and I don't want to read what you have to write anymore. But if you show me that, you know, okay, I'll take $3, $5, whatever out of my pocket, then I know you're not going to just be a dick immediately afterwards. Otherwise, you'll have wasted the money type thing. So, I don't really care if it's Canadian or American if I ever make these statements on stream. You said Z? You're not a Canadian. Oh my god. You're right. Oh. I find myself flip-flopping between the two of them. I guess this is how people who do like the GIF thing feel. Like, for Z and Z, I think Z is my default, but I'll occasionally say Z, and it's just not a big deal to me. It's asshole tax. That is one way to look at it. You're right. Yeah. Wait, I'm pretty sure I put the Tyrador skin on. Why is Kelazhur getting the classic SCVs? I think there's a bug with this. This has happened twice now in this show. I'll have to look into what's causing it on GameHeart. But regardless, we got the forged one on for Harstem, so it looks really cool over there. War Puppy says, so if I say something stupid to get myself banned, can I donate 5 yen instead of $5 since the currency doesn't actually matter? No, I said between Canadian and American doesn't matter. You can't go donate me $5 in like Hungarian dollars because it's worth like 5 cents. No, $5 is $5. You just get to pick between the two, one or the other. Also, again, because Charles is tuning in and we didn't get a chance to talk, the alerts are still a little borked, but those should be resolved for after stream, hopefully. But command center, third one on the way. We saw this earlier out of Kelazhur. This time it's not from a defensive position. This time it's not from him being behind in the series. He's gone for this bunker out at the front. It's because he needs it. By going for this third command center this early, oh no. Oh, heavens no. That Adept, not only does it get to the main base, and it's going to be really annoying to deal with, it's going to see the third CC, I think? Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, he's not going to see it. The third CC is a big scout to pick up, but at the same time, there is a pretty big lack of things to see here. Like, for example, Harstem doesn't see a second gas geyser. He doesn't see a factory coming up very quickly. He might be able to just guess that it's a third CC without actually confirming it. But what does he do with that information? And in fact, Harstem's so good that I would believe that he knows it's a third CC without seeing it. Because if nothing else, Harstem is actually a genius. I know we like to joke, Year of Harstem, Captain, blah, blah, blah. But Harstem's actually a really smart guy. And I fully believe that he knows there's a third CC. But that's where the problem lies now. Do you just decide to play greedy to match your opponent? Or do you want to punish him for it? Harstem, to me, doesn't feel like that much of an all-in player most of the time. Even though he can be kind of gross with stalkers in certain situations, I would imagine that this is the choice he makes 9 times out of 10. I think for him, it's about expanding and getting his own economy going, because Harstem's macro is very strong. Did Harstem beat Raynor? No, sadly, Harstem did lose to Raynor. So Raynor's already out of the group. This is the group finals. This is it. This is where everything is decided through this decider match. Warp Prism. Now, this really caused a lot of problem for Kelazhur in the first series that they played each other today. It wasn't that Harstem did crazy big damage with the Warp Prism, and even towards the end of the series with his Colossus, it was like a little bit of pick-up drop micro, but it wasn't anything incredible or insane where you're like jumping out of your seat at how unbelievable it is. But the functionality of this Warp Prism is very high. The utility of it's very high. Whether it's dropping units in and picking them up, whether it's a full warp into the main base, there's a lot of ways that this can punish Kelazhur based on his timing. And this Observer has had vision on Kelazhur for so long at this point. If he sees this army move out... Oh, he might be actually being hunted right now. Yeah, he is. Oh, he's going to get away. Oh, this is awesome because it burns the scan, it wastes the scan, and the Marines don't kill it. But the point is, if this Observer survives and he gets to see this army move out, that's the perfect signal to go in, because there's no instant comeback button unless you're Protoss. Base Street TV, you're going to rerun the games today? I tuned in late, sadly. I can, yeah. We're going to host Wardy after this, but I'll probably start a rerun in the afternoon for the afternoon crowd. So, Joe, Robot Food, a few hours from now. But, I mean, the VODs are all available on Twitch right away. You don't have to wait to see them. You could literally go open it right now and start watching it from the start of the stream if you wanted to. Virgos have a better chance of winning in the finals? Shut up! I should never have told you guys this story. Horoscopes are dumb! You know what I need to do? I need to go look up their birthdays right now. We'll just stop casting the game, and we'll see what the relationship would be. Oh, that's a little bit of a nuisance. Marine kills a probe. No scan for the Observer? Out of juice? Out of juice? I almost got a scan. Okay, well, whether he saw it or not, doesn't matter. The War Prism comes in accordance with seeing that army move out. As I mentioned before, there's no real come home button unless you're Protoss. So Harstem can invest a lot and then warp these units back home through recall. He's going to deny the third base. SCVs in the main base being corralled, but Kelazhur's really not giving up. He's just going to keep pushing with this, and this is not a bad move at all. Harstem does not have much at home to defend with, and all those warp-ins he just used, all those cooldowns, are all on the other side of the map and not at home to defend. "20 SCVs have died while this goes on." Sorry, I've been watching the front lines. It's pretty do or die for Kelazhur, and I think he knows it. The nice thing for him, though, is he is up 1-0 in the series, so even if this investment costs him this game, he's got another one to fall back to. Zelda the main base taking a long time to clean up. Marauders, yeah, GG. Harstem does tie it up. And that means we're going to go to the third game, the ace match of the day, here in the tail end of the series, for the tail end of the group. Oh no, this is not what I wanted at all. The first paragraph, I'm gonna read you guys the title. Leo and Libra, sexual and intimacy compatibility. No, is there not something here for just like friendship? Or like rivalries? Leo, Libra rivalry maybe is what I need to look for. Okay, Leo and Libra is a powerful match. You each bring out the best in each other and share a very similar outlook while constantly being fascinated by each other's personality. This leads to this being one of the most common Zodiac matches and often a soulmate potential. No! Not what I was looking for at all. Okay, well, to the top right side of the field, apparently, because we're going down this path, he's a Leo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Harstem. And to the bottom left, a no good Libra. It's the blue Terran, Kelazhur. Tell us more about the romantic compatibility. Donators sub. We've had no donations this whole stream. If somebody donates something, anything, $2, I don't care. I'll read the other one. I'll read the compatibility in sexual and intimate relationships. Otherwise, I'm going to happily focus on the game, which is not a phrase I think I find myself saying very often when it comes to Starcraft 2. But Kelazhur, Harstem, they've got it tied up 1-1. The 8-ball says Kelazhur will reverse the outcome. Everyone who saw the first series probably is cheering, thinking Harstem will take it again. There's not that many Terrans in this tournament. So for me, I kind of hope Kelazhur takes this because I'd love to have a Terran move on to the round of 8. But at the end of the day, I don't really have a lot of favoritism in that regard. It would just be a neat little way to balance things out. Harstem's a good player, though. Both Harstem and Kelazhur are great players. Either of them is going to make the round of 8 better than it would be without them. So it sucks that only one can get through. But with this being tied up 1-1, this is the ultimate decider match. Dark 3102, thank you for the 100 bits. That's not enough. We need $2, okay? I'll read the first line. This is our pay-to-win scheme here for me trying to buy Subway today. I'll read the first line for those 100 bits, okay? For the Leo and Libra sexual and intimacy compatibility, when a Leo and a Libra come together, they don't need much time to build up a healthy sex life. Yeah, no. With Leo's confidence and Libra's sexuality, they tend to inspire each other to become great lovers when that's stop. Okay, if you want more, you can donate for it. Okay. Regardless of whether Harstem and Kelazhur are destined to be boyfriend and boyfriend or not, they have had actually like a pretty good rivalry in this. Not just in terms of like this game, but I think like just them in skill, they've always been pretty much on par with another. But it's never really been a lot of opportunity for them for God, this has got me so. I hate that I read that. It's got me so flustered. I was blushing reading that. But I think what's great is Kelazhur had a lot of time where he wasn't in Europe, right? This year he's been in Europe. This year has been the best chance for Kelazhur to really prove himself against the other European players. Because when he was playing for North America, there was always the excuse of latency. Oh, we aren't on the same server. The results are blah, blah, blah. But Kelazhur's, I think, proven himself pretty well over the year. He's a guy who's not super full-time in the game. Remember, Kelazhur moved not to play better StarCraft. He moved to go to school, to live, I think, in the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. He's actually done a lot while being not, quote-unquote, super hardcore or full-time with StarCraft. And I'm really impressed with that, to be honest. Now, some of these guys that play this game, I mean, they're better off taking that deep breath, taking a step back and not being super obsessed 24/7. But, yeah, it's just been good watching Kelazhur hold his own through the quote-unquote casualness of his playstyle, I guess. Which isn't the case at all. That's not a good way to describe it. But I just mean he's not super hardcore, super full-time, gaming house 24/7 type thing. Is that a nuke in your main base? Or are you just happy to see me? This is not what I was expecting to experience at the stream today. I'm so sorry. If you guys want to send hate any direction, send it to Sailor Salty on Twitch, okay? This is her fault entirely.
Please continue.
Oh, no. That better not be on. Taurus, thank you for the 690. Says, please continue. Text-to-speech is not supposed to be on. This happened last time. And I'm just going to ask you in advance, please don't. But okay, we'll watch the drop. Auto-follow to read. Their sex life is usually filled with respect, and they feel free to try out new things with one another. If they found their relationship on a strong mutual attraction, they could enjoy a satisfying sex life for a very long time. Leo doesn't mind being seen, and Libra is a sign that represents the public eye. Although this conveys something about their sexual preferences too, they will usually be well behaved in public. As soon as any restrictions show up, they will have to play out their passionate scenarios at any time, and in any place they get a chance to be alone, if only for a minute. 90% compatibility. Fuck. Thank you for the $6.90. This attack on a Kelazhur is actually really nasty for Harstem. I didn't realize this positioning would be such a problem. I mean, kills a pylon, that's a supply block, but that's also not the big deal here. This terrain is really messing with him, and he can't respond to the Marines very well. So, Kelazhur not only just kills a pylon and almost kills a gateway, this actually creates a huge distraction for Harstem, who might not realize then that now there's another medevac boosting down the map, and his army right now is not in a position to deal with this. He's moving them over now as he scouts it with the observer. But this is where I'm just saying, like, this distraction out of Kelazhur doesn't have to be big damage. It just has to be a distracting amount of damage. Do you think that that reading has something to do with them playing one-on-one on the stream right now? Shut up. Ken Skog, thank you for the 22 months. Now, even if Kelazhur were to bunch all of his units together, it won't really improve his chances at taking a good fight because there's a Colossus in play. His best bet is to still try and split Harstem, even though these two halves are kind of weaker than the whole would be otherwise. I gotta watch my phrasing on stream now that we've read that. But this Marauder's coming out next. We got +1 weapons, and Kelazhur will have a better follow-up to this. Right now, he just kind of has a rather meek attack force. He really wants to go over here and kill this gateway, though, but the Colossus is going to deny him pretty much every time. And I thought they were supposed to take advantage anytime they were together in public. Jeez. But whether things are spicing up here or not, Harstem with 2 Colossus for sure takes on these Marines with no problem. Even without +1. It's the Marauders that might make this interesting. I don't know if the Widow Mines will really get anything done here, but they are planted firmly on the front line. Throws reposition. Nice bait there with that. Nice double bait, actually. Probe eats the first Widow Mine, and the Stalkers blink juke the rest. And Kelazhur loses all of those Widow Mines and gets no trades for them. Who would you say is on top? Well, Harstem's technically on top right now, but Kelazhur's about to drop on top. So, I don't know. Harstem's going to be a power top, bottom. I don't want to do this. Stop it. I don't want to play this game anymore. These euphemisms are not fun. Harstem has a girlfriend. Probes are pulled. Pylon's going to go down, but these medevacs are kind of trapped. I don't know if they're really going to get out of here with this many Stalkers camping. As you can see here, yeah, it just blinks in target fires. 2 of the big medevacs go down. 1 barely escapes. We do have an attack down to the south side, but there's not really anything here to deflect it. At the same time, there's not that big of an attack coming. Pushing with the Marines. I mean, Harstem comes back to... No, Harstem responds by bringing the rest of his army this direction on the map. And Kelazhur drops the main base, only to lose the medevac again. A little unfortunate. The Marines will try and kill a probe on the way out. That's A for effort, but that's not really a lot of damage. Trading out has not worked out for Kelazhur this game. And as you know, at the core of every Terran player, it's not about one big battle. You're supposed to have all these little tiny wins that build up to be that big lead. But with Kelazhur taking these bad trades and these bad drops, and it's just not working out for him, he's not getting those little advantages that he really needs in the game. You know, I hate to say it, because I know exactly where this goes. Kelazhur is going to need to use protection. Because he doesn't know if there's a warp prism or not. And while he pushes out with the army, or I guess, you know, let's go forward. While he pushes into Harstem, his back door might be wide open. But the warp prism is not being used to go for some harassment around the army. It is right here on the front lines. And I think juking Marauder shots and Viking shots might be more valuable than anything else. But bad euphemisms aside, and you guys being childish in my chat, the reality is Kelazhur is pushing into Harstem, and I don't know if this is really a great move to make because he's running into these force fields. We've got the Colossus, kind of zoned out by the Viking count. That's good, actually. So Kelazhur was able to get a couple of blasts there and okay trades, but this many Zealots now charging to the front line. The Marauders are kind of injured. There's no Liberators here to back this up. It is just pure Viking production for Kelazhur, which isn't so bad. He's on 9. This will actually annihilate the Colossus count with 4 more joining them shortly. But then they'll have to land very quickly afterwards. guys are actually 12 years old. Knocking down that warp prism, I think, would actually be more valuable than taking down the Colossus, because that's going to help deny a lot of shots. But we do have ghosts coming up as the follow-up to this, and getting those EMPs out is going to be a big deal when fighting this army. Now, he does take the fight a little bit closer to the cannons, take some extra shots here, but those Vikings do sacrifice themselves to take out the Colossus. And with all three of them going down, well, 2 of the 3 going down, once those stands, this army still might not be enough to take on what's left. Those Archons don't really take a lot of damage from the Marauders. They just shrug off the concussive shells, really. I've had the pleasure of viewing a 10 out of 10 live fan fiction reading. No, that's not what that was. We were reading a horoscope. It's not fan fiction. I'm not shipping anybody in this situation, okay? Stop. There's the enhanced shockwaves for the sophisticated gentleman. Ghost EMPs, though, still land pretty decently for now. A lot of the army does lose its shields. The Archons have been dealt with. There's no energy left, no storms. Colossus, though, barely alive, finally goes down. Took a long time to go down. Vikings land now. Gonna start shooting out those screwdrivers to disassemble the mechanical units with that bonus 20 damage. And these SCVs go right back to mining. You know, of course, some Zealots up here are still a problem. He's not dealt with this fully and entirely, so base is being denied mining while this goes on. But maybe he can get some damage done in retaliation. This base only really has a cannon and a shield battery. If he breaks the army, the base will fall shortly after. Show these guys this game? No, God, I hope Harstem and Kelazhur never watch the VOD of this. In fact, tactically, I've been such a bad caster for years that by default they know it's not worth watching the casts. So hopefully, they won't ever see this game. And nobody clips that moment either. The base looks like it's finally been resolved. Oh my God, I didn't realize how close he was to losing this, by the way, and I don't think he did either. 53 health. If those Zealots didn't chase the SCVs, they may have actually just killed the command center straight up. The Liberator, though, goes down. An EMP blast does hit most of the army, but there's no way to really capitalize on this, I don't think. In fact, if Harstem just backs away, he should have a lot of his shields back soon. But no, he's going to continue on with the fight. Targets down that Viking. Oh, the Archons are stuck behind the Stalkers, so they're not even into the fight till it's a little bit too late. Zealots pushing in too. Positioning is a little bit awkward for the army, but both have such low army value in total. These are such high-stakes battles for how few units are in play. I hope nobody clipped it. Sounds like Rifkin's a dreamer. I know. I can wish. Look, I can dream. I know that I'm not going to have the audience of, say, Shroud anytime soon, but I can hope for that. I can also hope you guys don't clip dumb moments. You know, like the 14 of you who clipped me telling Pash to, well, put something in his mouth on stream. That's what I do, by the way. Every stream forever that I've ever done this, my favorite thing to do after the stream is go back and look at the clips and see what moments you guys clipped. And I'm pretty regularly disappointed. There'll be so many moments where, like, I've said something dumb and none of, like, the 40 banelings that hit 100 SCVs. There's a reason our highest clip on the channel is the stupid magic trick, but denying this base, I mean, this is the Rich Vespine, guys. We hadn't really talked about this because it hasn't had that big of a bearing on the game, but this does deny the Rich Vespine gas from Kelazhur's base. However, the gas might not matter so much if he loses his life to this. The collapse is looking a little strong. There's some DTs in the mix, and I don't know if Kelazhur's aware of this. So this DT gets some big damage in there, and G's get called, ladies and gentlemen. Harstem will take the series 2-1 and be the second player out of this group. Moving on to the round of 8.